melanin. And it's based on if you get a deep sleep, you go deeper into the melanin realm. Because guess what melanin is? It's a form of sleep. You see what I'm saying? That's why you get the movie Matrix. Morpheus in the Greek is the god of sleep, which is the consciousness. So it's based on what kind of sleep you get. So it's not a matter of, if you're going to get 4 hours, it's best to get 4 hours of deep sleep.
In the inner aspect, as far as the biological aspect, which is inside of our bodies, it is a substance that is secreted by the pineal gland. Osiris is called a corn deity. The pineal gland is in the central part of the brain, in the middle of the brain, and it is big as a grain of corn. Is as big as a grain of corn. But melanin is also permeates throughout our central nervous system. Okay. Melanin is not only within our central nervous system, melanin is also called junk DNA. So you have DNA, which is the 2 double helix strands that you see. Then there's the DNA that science either can't understand or don't want the public to understand, and they call that junk DNA. Junk DNA is nothing but melanin. You see what I'm saying? Nothing but melanin.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
And so this particular, and now the thing about it here is another reason probably why is because we have, as black people, have a greater output of the melanin, but nevertheless, everything down here has to have melanin to even survive, including white folks. You see what I'm saying?
Everybody needs to survive. Okay.
Right. So you can't go by, and one thing about the melanin, the one that's the most important is the one that is in the central nervous system. This cosmic black substance, sand-like substance, is in the central nervous system. And in that particular case, you can't just measure it based on skin color, based on the melanocytes. The melanin that's in the skin is just basically the melanin that protects black people from the sun that lives on the equator or equatorial Africa or on the continent of Africa and other hot climates. That's the melanocytes, and that is the skin aspect. What we're talking about here is one that is the one that's in the central nervous system, which is our essence, which means you can have a great deal of melanin and be very light-skinned.
Those who have high melatonin output react strongly against sunlight because it affects their mental capacity. Now hold it right here. I know you think this white boy devil talking, but I get up on you. Excuse me. Go back to my lecture about 97. I told you that I felt better when it was cloudy outside. Am I talking about that? And I said when the sun. Now listen. Now you saying now that goes all against melanin because we're the people of the sun. No. The melanin of the skin protects you from the sun. And it doesn't protect white people. Get where I'm coming from here? But the inner melanin works better at night because we are nocturnal people. Get where I'm coming from here? So when he's saying this, the first I thought I said, oh, let me pick this shit up again now. Because we know that we're supposed to do all this in the sun. No. The skin part is what most people, when they was talking about the children of the sun, they was talking about we can be in the damn sun because we got protection. You understand where I'm coming from? But there's another part of this particular thing right now, and this is what it's dealing with. Listen. Now let me go back. It says, those who have a high output, melatonin output react strongly against sunlight because it acts as a mental capacity. They are essentially night operatives. Melatonin is called the hormone of darkness that produced only at night and in the dark. The exposure of excess sunlight activity makes the pineal gland smaller and lessens the spiritual awareness. Darkness and high pineal activity enhance the keen, intuitive knowledge of the subtle mind and reduces the stress factor.
Now, there's one other part of melanin that I didn't explain. Melanin the movement of melanin and the regulation of melanin is regulated by these glands that's in your body. The pituitary gland regulates the melanin, and the pineal gland secretes the melanin, and they got all these endorphins that do certain things, but it's all regulated, and it is all stemmed from a cosmic fire that's at the base of the root chakra, or the base of your spine, near the anus. And it's a cosmic fire, and that fire, they say, is 10 times hotter than regular fire, but it is inside of our body, but it's the ethereal fire. And and that particular fire shoots up the spine, and that's called the Kundalini energy. And it permeates the chakras and goes into the pineal gland, and that's where you get the serpentine fire or the cosmic fire. Our God is an all-consuming fire.
Melanin is connected with dreams because melanin, in actual fact, is sleep. That's what melanin is. How the hell you think they can take melanin out of you and put it in a white person and the white person fall asleep? Melanin is sleep. Sleep is melanin. You want to enhance more melanin? Get more sleep. Or you want to really enhance it, it's not the kind of sleep you get, it's not how much sleep you get, is what kind of sleep you get. And the key here is, like the Upanishad said, when a person go into deep sleep, he goes to his own. The melanin can heal you, but you have to go into a deep sleep. What you think happens when a person gets shot up and they go and they say he needs his rest? Nigga wake up, he be healed, but he be like, hell, you been out for 3 damn weeks, nigga. That's because it is the melanin, which is the sleep, that heals him, but you got to go into the deep sleep. Because what happens is your soul and your spirit combined can heal itself, providing it gets enough sleep that it can actually take the microscopic organisms and synthesize them to heal, and they can go to work. But you have to go deeper into a deeper sleep. You got this triple blackness of space and this substance called melanin, and through that will give birth to a dancing star, which is the Christ, Christos. It's the transmutation of the triple blackness of space, which is melanin. There's a sphere of the Kabbalah called Doth, which is the sphere of melanin. It is also the third eye. It's also represented as the star Sirius. In its astronomical phase is represented as the star Saturn in its astrological phase. But Doth and the word death, one and the same. But what is death? Death is not the death that we know it is. It is the crown jewel. It is just that thing outside of the body that we can't comprehend. But they said, as eons go by and death may eternal lie, with strange eons even death will die. That means that it's going to give birth to a new light. You see, so Darth, that's why you get Darth Vader, who wears all black. He represents melanin. Luke Skywalker represents the light particle of the Christ that overthrows Darth Vader. All that is the light coming up out of Satan, or the light coming up out of darkness. You have to have darkness to produce light. So Jesus conquers Satan. He's only the process of the light being born from Satan, switch on the black opening or the black dot or the melanin. This is scientific. That's why even in the yin and the yang symbol, you'll see the black side, you'll see a little white dot in that, and you'll see the white side, you'll see a little black dot in that. One is the other.
What they are afraid of is when this nanotechnology unleashes in those people, those melanated people, the real nanotechnology, there is going to be an invasion that will eat the world, about like a movie called Langoliers. Anybody seen the movie Langoliers? So Africa is, these particular wars that's going on is only an excuse to cover up melanin manufacturing camps that they have. And it deals with this. They have camps in Africa or laboratories in Africa where they just basically cut up the bodies into the melanated parts and ship those melanated parts to Europe